Thank you for this gathering, which is important. I would like to thank, of course, Ron Lauder and Mr. Elstein, and member of Kadima, Shai Hermesh, distinguished member of Kadima, Shai Hermesh. This is an opportunity to share some ideas about the future of the State of Israel and the relations between Israel and the Jews in the diaspora. And these are special days. Few days before Rosh Hashanah, before New Year's Eve, a day after an horrific terror attack on Jews near Hebron. The idea of terrorists attacking these civilians, pregnant women, this is something that is difficult to imagine, that this kind of terrorism is something that we need to face together. This was yesterday, and today and tomorrow there's the beginning of direct talks between Israel and the Palestinians, relaunching a process that as the foreign minister, I was the chief negotiator on the Israeli side, and in a way, the process that starts tomorrow is the continuous of the process that was stopped, in a way, fade out before or during the operation in Gaza Strip and after the elections in Israel. A process that we deeply support in Kadima. In a way, Israel and the world Jewry is facing mutual threats. One is, as Israel, the existence of Israel, and Israel is fighting for its existence since the establishment of the state in 1948. We all face anti-Semitism that rises its ugly head in different parts of the world. And we all, as citizens of the world or members of the free world, are facing global terrorism and extreme Islamic ideology being represented by Iran as a state, by Hamas as a terrorist organization, by Hezbollah as an armed militia in Lebanon. And these all are mutual or threats that we all need to face together. I'm going to speak about these threats, but I would like to speak firstly about us, because I don't think that we need to define ourselves here in Israel or world Jewry in connection to the threats that we face. I think that we need to define ourselves, the identity of the State of Israel and the relations between Israel and the world Jewry in terms of substance, in terms of values, in terms of shared history and shared future. And we need to discuss all this because I believe that we need to redefine what is Israel as homeland for the Jewish people, and now how this reflects the relations between Israel and the world Jewry. And for me, when I'm speaking about the fight for the existence of the State of Israel, it's not only the physical existence of the State of Israel, but the existence of the State of Israel as a homeland for the Jewish people. And it is clear to me that we need to keep the values of Israel as a Jewish and democratic state living in harmony and not in contradiction. But yet everybody in Israel and outside of Israel knows what does it mean a democratic state. Here in Israel, every teenager can quote the Fifth Amendment of the American Constitution, and Israel needs a constitution as well. But what is a Jewish state? This is something that we are speaking about. This is a definition that we relate to, but yet what does it mean? And unfortunately, when I'm looking at the Israeli society, when time passes by, we have two different groups. One is a group that become more and more Israeli. Young people feeling connected deeply to the State of Israel. For them, being an Israeli means speaking Hebrew, serving in the army, and share this identity with the other citizens of Israel. On the other side of the Israeli society map, you can find the ultra-Orthodox, people that become more and more religious. Now, I believe that there is no need for any Israeli to decide whether he's secular or religious, whether he's an Israeli or a Jew. But I believe that this is something that we need to address, because when I'm talking about these two different groups, talking about the common denominator between the individuals of these groups, there is nothing to do between these common denominators and the world Jewry. And we need to address this. And on the other side, when we are looking at the Jewish communities abroad, we can see young people feeling, thank God, very Jewish, very connected to the community, but less and less feeling connected to Israel. And I know that sometimes it's not easy to advocate for the state of Israel, but I know that their parents had this feeling of joy, pride, when the state of Israel was established, feeling the same, or they are proud of what Israel has become as a state that contributes to the world, and not only. They feel this kind of feeling because at the end of the day, I'm talking not only about legal definitions, but about feelings. And I want the young people in Israel to feel connected, not just to their identity as Israelis, but as Jews who live in Israel and part of the entire Jewish people with the same goals, not only the same threats, the same vision, the same values, the same history, the same tradition. And on the other side, I would like the young people in the Jewish communities abroad to have the same feeling, being Jews in an understanding that elsewhere there's another state called Israel, which is homeland for the Jewish people, means it's their home as well. And it's not enough to speak about this in gatherings like this. We need to work, we need to put it as part of the Israeli education here, as this needs to be part of the Jewish education in Jewish communities abroad. Because for me, the fight for the existence of the State of Israel is not because Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East and Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East, but because Israel is the only Jewish state in the world. And talking about the relations, as I said, I want these young people to feel connected to the State of Israel. And I don't want that the relation will be based only whether you make Aliyah or not. I respect those who decided not to make Aliyah, even though I hope that everybody come to Israel. But at the end of the day, we need to look at the realities on the ground and understand that we need to work together on the same vision. Now, talking about some of the problems that the Jewish communities are facing, I just mentioned that I hear more and more saying that it becomes very difficult for them to advocate for the State of Israel in difficult times for the State of Israel. I would like to say that I don't take this, as an obligation of the Jews in diaspora to advocate for the State of Israel. I don't take it for granted. I think that we need to work together in order to find what are the core issues, what are the values, what are the things that relates to Israel as such, and criticizing policy of this or another Israeli government is something that I can respect as well. As long as we know that there is something that is not connected to any Israeli government policy, but it is more about the values of the State of Israel,